Welcome aboard, everybody, and welcome to the third round of the seventh season of the JF. And here we are at Albert Park in Melbourne. So most of you have would definitely find the circuit really familiar. 14 of these really quick corners around this extremely exciting Formula One street circuit, which brings us action year after year in every race, in every season of the actual Formula One calendar. So right here in the GF, obviously we know that there's definitely going to be more action to come, and certainly tonight is expected to be no different. So today we are already on the third round of the JF Season 7. Previously in round 2 we had it in Qatar, and in round 1 we had it in a more familiar circuit, of course, in Suzuka, if I'm not mistaken. But right here, right now, we're going to have it in our one and only race in the Oceania region of the calendar. So, of course, we have 11 rounds in this season's JF, and we're already at round 3. So, time really flies. And this is already, we're approaching the end of the year. We're in the 30th of November of the year 2024. Our third round of the season, and of course, we have some movements in the standings already. So, first up, let's bring up our drivers' championship table to remind you of how the drivers stand after 2 rounds of the season thus far. So here's our standings. Obviously, they're not 0 points. They obviously made some ground. Let's pull it out right now. So, because we don't have all drivers at 0 points, of course. We have drivers already scoring points at this juncture, of course. Um, let's bring out that championship standings right now. Yes, we have it. So let's remind you of the standings. We have Skipper with 48 points, Panda Dan with 25, Noom and Ramen tied at 20, Sky with 18, Techromancer and Beesim in 6 and 7 with 16 points, Darky with 14 points, Von Haley with 4 points, and Anastasis 2 points. And obviously, Yassisi in 11th place, the only other point scorer at this juncture so far. So, of course, we do have a mixture of our reserves and full-time drivers for the season, of course. But such as the dominance of some drivers in this current championship, we only have 11 drivers as of now who have scored points. Of course, we had our race in Japan in the exhibition race. That's not going to count, of course. In Qatar, race number 1, that's on the 2nd November. That is the first race counted. And previously, you had a race in Spain for race 2 on the 16th of November. Those are the only 2 races that count. And of course, knowing Australia is going to be very exciting. It's going to be a race of attrition, of course. And it's certainly going to bring us quite a bit of drama when it comes to who's going in and who's going out. So Skipper with a healthy lead of 23 points over second place Compassion Panadet, Noom and Ramen on 20 points. And of course, it's a very tightly contested midfielder with Noom and Ramen with 20 at third place, and all the way down to Darky. So we have 7 drivers covered with just 6 points. So a very tightly contested run-up spot right there. After just 2 rounds of racing. So keeping a close eye on what's to happen. Keep a very close eye on what's going to happen for today's race, of course. So just to remind you, for today's race, we have a total of 19 drivers, albeit we only have 13 of the full-time drivers participating today. So it's going to be a really good chance for the reserve drivers to get a few more points out of into their name right here. So these reserve drivers, of course, we haven't been really talking about them, but they've always been giving us some action. Yeah. So a little bit of introduction today. As we wait for the grid to form up, let's introduce you to the current team standings, of course. So let's bring it across to the team standings. We have let's have a look. Yes, here's the constructor standings with McLaren on 74 points. Once again, disregard what you're seeing on the screen here. That's obviously from the previous season. So we do have we do have McLaren at 74 points. Disregard what you see on the screen. Red Bull and Williams tied on 50. So once again, it's McLaren versus Red Bull, such it is in real life. Then we have Aston Martin in fourth place with 29 points, AlphaTauri with 24. Obviously, we call the AlphaTauri because we're based on the F1 23 game, not the RB, of course, if it makes you more comfortable. Alfa Romeo, or we call it the stick team with 20 points, and Mercedes at 19. So once again, really, really tight in terms of the constructors as well. Red Bull versus Williams to the run-up spot. And for fourth place as well, we have four different teams contesting for fourth place now. And let's not discount Ferrari and Haas, 8 and 2 points respectively, 8 and 9. Do not count that out at this juncture because anything will happen in Australia. So things can happen there. So only Alpine is a team yet to score any points in the JAF stuff this season thus far. So far cry from the previous season where Alpine was just simply dominating. I mean, from where you can see on the screen, Alpine a whopping 201 points from the previous season. And this season we have Alpine not scoring any points yet. So can they actually come back here in Australia? That's a big question that we're going to ask ourselves. But meanwhile, since we have already introduced our current team standings, why not let's have a quick view in the deeper details of who's part of each team. So first up, let's have a look at the Red Bull team. Currently second in the standings in the constructors title, and they are made up of let's have a look. Red Bull's made up of Sky and Ramen. So these two teams, these two drivers, definitely no stranger to the JF at all. Sky, not a rookie, of course, is participating in season 6. Ramen, both seasons 5 and 6. So Sky, of course, he finished quite way ahead in the 6th season of the JF. Of course, Sky is well, I have no idea what his name was there, but he was. Sky was in 8th place with 50 points last season. And Ramen, of course, Ramen, we all know, he was a reserve driver in the past season, if I'm not mistaken. Well, he was a reserve driver. Don't think he scored any points. No, he did. He got 28 points in the last season. And of course, in season 5, Ramen, not a very strong season for season 5, but he has been progressively improving. And obviously, he has been showing quite a few strong showings in the exhibition race and the first 2 races, of course. Already scoring a whopping 28 points if we count exhibition race. Just unfortunately not doing as well in Spain, but consistently scoring points in every race it is for the Red Bull team. So if you do combine the exhibition race and the first 2 races of the season, well, Red Bull are obviously in contention for the driver's title right now. So props up to the Red Bull team when it comes to the tabulations of the title there. Look at that. Both these drivers in the Bahrain track, very similarly matchups, 4/10 off, and with a time of a sub 1 minute 30. So Sky and Ramen is definitely going to be a team to reckon with here. And certainly my bets for the Constructors Champions of 2024, or let's just say the 7th season of the JF. But of course, we do have another team, the Mercedes team, of course, the Mercedes AMG Petronas team, made up of Ducky and Von Haley. Now, 2 rookies forming a team. Obviously, that's not going to be taking on. It's not going to be big names there, but look at the timings there. Ducky with 1:29.6, and of course, it's creating a lot of action in the first race as we've seen in Qatar. And at 1:29.6 has put him really in contention there and finished. It has been qualified in Q3 in every race so far for Darky. Von Haley, of course, that 1:35.35, not too convincing, but of course we've seen him score quite a couple of points already. In Qatar, 4 points as a matter of fact. So Mercedes, of course, showing some pace and consistency, of course. Let's not forget that the only reason why they have not been scoring points in Japan and Spain is because these drivers did not start, and that obviously affected their standings there inside the drivers in the drivers championship. So pretty unfortunate for the two Mercedes drivers. If they can make the attendance count today, I'm pretty sure they'll be out for some decent points and trying to make up some ground inside the current constructor standings. So of course, if you're new to the JF, we're a Singapore-based tournament, and of course we most of the prize money will be attributed towards the constructors title, and of course that is because we are here to encourage teamwork between drivers, and we're here to build a community of esports racing here in Singapore, and that's why majority of the prize money is going to the constructors championship instead of the drivers championship. Now, don't get me wrong, there's definitely going to be prize money awarded to drivers who do well inside a drivers championship, but definitely the higher percentage points will be going on to the constructor titles. So that's going to be crucial when it comes to the tabulation of the final points, the final prize money. So drivers are going to be working together throughout the course of remaining 8 or 9 races in order to secure that prize money, of course. Now, because obviously in the track like Australia, we know it's difficult to overtake here. Yes, you can make mistakes, but the main consensus is going to be very difficult to overtake here. We only have that few straights. Look at that between the main straight between turn 14 and turn 1, and of course turns 10, 11, the very long straight after the very dangerous ass curves there. And if one is feeling really, really voracious enough, if his appetite is voracious enough, maybe doing it down into the braking zone of turn 9, but obviously turn 9 is not a heavy braking zone, and you're going to get down to about 200 kph before negotiating the very tight ass corners, and that's going to be a very dangerous one to overtake. I don't think uh, the teams as well as the drivers would be really thinking to make an overtake there unless the pace differential is so big that they can try to make a pass there. But no, I think most drivers will be trying to make a move down on the main straight in turn 1, and of course making some ground at the start of the race. But there's only so many cars to get overtake at the start of the race, barring a safety car or a red flag. So drivers will definitely know that a strong qualifying session for both cars would be crucial to make a team strategy work. And that's something for these drivers to be discussing right now. And one thing that will be interesting looking at is the McLaren team, the current champions there, made up of Pendadan and Facile Strategy. Facile Strategy finally coming in for his first race of the season. Race number 3, Facile Strategy finally coming in for his full-time driver duties and alongside Pendadan. Now, we all know McLaren has already secured 74 points in the uh, in the current constructors championship. So that's going to mean, well, with that partnership with Pendadan, a really, really strong driver already. We're currently in the runners-up position in the drivers championship. What does that spell for the Mercedes and Red Bull team who are trying to catch them so much? Now, even the Alpine team, look at that. We have, as what we covered in the first season, we have S38 and you obviously is a past champion, season 4 champion you in Alpine, along with SS38. Now, these two also a really strong lineup there. So it is going to be a multi-team challenger. Points up for grabs for multiple teams. And who's going to share the spoils of the points? That's a bigger question here. In a very tight and twisty street circuit like Australia, it's not a slow circuit. Let's not forget, it is a really fast-flowing circuit where mistakes can be made. So, well, I don't want to say here, but it is not going to be easy for each of these drivers. And we have a total of 19 drivers here. And of course, we'll be expecting the full suite of qualifying Q1, Q2, and Q3 to be taking place once the clock strikes 9-ish. It's already 9 p.m. plus already, but we're just waiting for the drivers to get it ready. We currently have 2 more missing drivers in the lobby before we can get going again. So, just a little bit of update so far. We have well, the briefing is really done. I'm just waiting for the drivers to be added into the lobby. That's what we normally do. So, well, final checks being done by the management team on who's not being added to the lobby yet. So there's a good question to be asked. Just awaiting the final drivers to be added in before we can get going. Obviously, we know every single stream so far has been pretty long, and it's going to be a long night. And I understand that there is the actual Qatar Grand Prix in real life that's happening now. And I'm pretty sure that nobody wants to miss it. So yeah, let's hope it goes smoothly, right? Let's hope that everything goes smoothly. Oh, we have it. So it is happening now. And it's going to start in another 10 more seconds before the race begins. And of course, if anyone has issue with my mic, please sound off in the chat. And obviously, some spectators are feeling that I'm a little soft today, and I think that's a good thing because, well, or maybe it's just because the qualifying session hasn't started yet, and the action hasn't started, so you want to hear me shouting to my mic and giving you a little bit of ear rape. And well, let's hope that doesn't happen. I call it ear rape mic. Yeah, quote unquote Hygiene. So 17 drivers now. We don't have 19. I apologize for that. So only 17. Heejin, still on the sidelines, is not participating this evening. But obviously, we do have a few reserve drivers. Familiar names again with Wayne in the Ferrari this time. Now, Wayne has consistently appearing on a podium now. Actually, 2 consecutive podiums for Wayne. Can he make it a third? Well, obviously, qualifying will be half the battle one for the drivers here, and let's see if Wayne can actually make a good strong showing in the in today's race. Well, sorry, Wayne did not finish on the podium in Spain. Sorry, he finished in 4th. But he'll be looking forward to, well, create 3-point scoring occasions in a row. Or maybe, if you want to put it in a more optimistic way, 3 top 4 finishes in a row for Wayne. And that'll be something maybe I've not seen since, well, quite a time ago now for Wayne. Now, he wasn't that consistent in when he first appeared as a full-time driver in the 5th season of the JAF, but here as a reserve driver, Wayne, can he make a difference? So already have a few drivers on the outlap. We have, I think the first one out is, we have Neum on the outlap. So Neum, obviously, we have, his name was previously Nimes or Fine. Recently renamed to Neum, in case you're just wondering. Still in the Alfa Romeo team, or the Stake team. So he's going through the long straight there, leading to turns 9 and 10. Let's have a look at how he breaks and so it's on lap, just try to warm the tires. And this S section of turns 9 and 10 is definitely where we expect majority of the drivers to mess up and get the lap times invalidated or have their nose cone planted into the wall right there. Look at that, just already conceding track limits on this outlap, and that goes to show how narrow, how twisty, how quick, and how quickly you have to respond in order for you to nail each corner perfectly. Neil will continue on his way to begin our first banker lap of this session. Let's look at Neil as he starts his first flying lap here. Let's see how the Alfa Romeo team goes. As how he pushes that car around the circuit. A lot of traffic in front of him for Neum. Hopefully those cars can lose in. No, I don't think so. The Mercedes is his way. not a good place to overtake there, B-Sim. You don't want to be doing that. I think that's a bit of impeding there by B-Sim. I'm not sure if New would be tolerant enough of that to race his ticket out to the stewards, but New is on his way. And it's a 27.9 for the first sector. Not too shabby, but you can roughly tell that he got impeded because Maple Leaf on the medium compound tires behind has gone half a second faster than New. So let's have a look at New's second sector as it goes down the long straight. Split time of 45.704 for New. Maple Leaf behind, now 7 tenths faster compared to him. So both purple sectors for Maple Leaf. New, obviously, maybe not treating this banker lap as important as it should, but well, just wants to get a lap time in, of course. Maple Leaf really quick on this lap there. 7 tenths off, and sweating off all 4 wheels on the track. The game suggests that the lap time is still valid, but in reality, that time should be deleted. Well, luckily for him, he's able to continue, but lap time definitely not too good, of course. 1:20.0 banker lap time there. Maple Leaf goes about 1 second faster, but now look behind for Taco Mensa. Still quicker than Maple Leaf, but on soft compound tires there. What can Taco Mensa do here? Taco Mensa does 9 tenths faster there. 1:18.125. Stonking final sector for Taco Mensa. But what all behind? We have a few more drivers. We quick look, Culado and Ramen. Let's have a look at Ramen first. Ramen next to cross the line. Ramen in, well, obviously not in 14. Let's see the time for Ramen. He's also got a set. There's missing consistency there for Ramen. And this goes up to P2, 1:18.272. Culado in the Ferrari. Now negotiates the final corner. Well, I would expect him to slot in somewhere between a big gap between Maple Leaf and New. He does. 1:19.3 for Culado. And of course, we're looking somewhere behind of Kurozuha. Kurozuha in the Haas goes. Oh, no worries. He goes 6th fastest. Let's see, is he P7 right now? Well, what about our next driver? We have Skipper. Skipper is, well, I think he's met Shako Mess and Ramen as he passes the second sector. Championship leader Skipper. Let's have a look at more of him. And it's really trying to bring around. Look at how twitchy the car is. In really slippery setup, favoring most of the drivers here. So you need to get a car turned in as quickly as possible. Taco Mensa deciding it as, well, he's leaving garage, he's returning garage, and he's happy with the time of 1:18.1. He doesn't think he needs to improve anymore, and he doesn't, of course, because even Skipper, our championship leader, is 3 tenths slower than him. He goes P3. What about what's going on behind? Let's have a look at Pandadan and SSD. Let's look at Pandadan currently. How's he going on that lap? Oh, really quick there. True turns 12 and 13. Pandadan now around the final corner. Flat to the floor. What's that lap time going to be? I think it's going to be a good one. Is it good enough for pole? It is good enough for pole by a huge margin. 8 tenths faster there. 1:17.2. SS38 right behind. What can SS38 do? We know he's good in qualifying too, and he goes up to P5, 1:18.777. Now we still have a few drivers who owe themselves qualifying time. B-Sim is on a hard lap currently. Not too good so far, but I think that should be enough to bring him into Q2. That's what I see. Remember, only 2 drivers will be eliminated from Q1, owing that there are only 17 drivers here. So only the slowest 2 be eliminated. B-Sim is unfortunately the slowest 2. The 2 Aston Martins right behind, 1:27.45. What about Facile Strategy? Facile Strategy, currently, well, not a very convincing second shooter. First race of the season, of course, Facile Strategy, so he might be a little bit, might even be a little bit not used to it. Just trying to get his emotions as a chat gets very wide down. This is what you want to do. Pretty shaky on the car. That almost cuts the corner. And oh, hits the wall there. Oh, that might have damaged the suspension there. That's beyond track limits too. The game is suggested into, but that's plum last now. B-Sim should be safe. But what about a few more drivers behind? Look at Clencher. You is now currently across 10, 11 now. I think, but he's not going that quick. But I think you should be able to get past. Well, defeated 121.2 as it stands. Not a bit as slow as 2. Pretty decent. A little twitch through the final corner. Goes down the main straight and does a 1:18.727. Goes on P5. Just beats this Alpine team by a little bit. Von Haley now, the next driver across the line, has invalidated his lap time. So that is it for our hot lap so far. Unless we have more drivers going. No, we do not have any more drivers on hot lap. So that is it. We're 14 times to the board. Wayne, Daki, and Von Haley either have not set a time or have invalidated. Yes, Wayne has invalidated his first attempt. So that's unfortunate for him. But now, Daki is our next driver to go on the hot lap. Let's go boy with Daki now. And let's bring aboard a lap on the Mercedes driver now. What can Daki do? Quick down into the turns 3, 4, and 5. Look at that great sequence from Daki. Left corner on 4th gear. And they're just trying to curse it down to down to sector 1. Daki does 27.1 first sector. That's really strong there for the Mercedes driver. Wayne as well. They just started his lap, so we can be updated on Wayne's times. Both of them, of course, on the soft compound tires. What can Daki do for the middle sector? Daki does a 45.0, pretty good. Wayne does a 27 flat for the first sector. Keep an eye out on the the driver. Daki is invalidated this time. We told you, turn 10 is a dangerous spot to negotiate. Daki has invalidated it. Wayne is still in the running. Let's go, boy, Wayne. And his sector 2 time is stonking 144.627. And that is a lap we're looking at. Look at the Ferrari driver, Wayne. You're saying he's on track for consecutively 4-4 finish. Look at that, just drifting down the circuit there. Well, you have Tokyo Drift, we now have Melbourne Drift. Brought to you by Wayne. Look at this Ferrari just sliding his way across the circuit. And of course, with that number 3 mark on his car, I'm not sure if that's attributed down to Ricardo or something. Wayne, of course, with all this sliding, I think he lost a bit of time there. Goes up to P4, but I think that should be more than enough to get him through the Q2. Oh my goodness me. My heart was in my mouth. That's going to end up in the wall there. Yassisi, of course, now. We know he's at risk. Yassisi is now starting his lap. Let's go with Yassisi in the Aston Martin. Let's see what we can do. So Yassisi, let's see sector 1 time. Just plants his car pretty nice. I think he's iron out his setup a little bit, so it should be a little bit more smoother there. 27.8 personal best there. He's improved his time by about 0.2 of a second. Traffic ahead of him shouldn't bother everybody. Just Wayne on his in lap. We're just about 7.5 minutes to go. More than enough time for drivers to do one more hot lap. It's easy through the second sector. Even more improvement, up by 0.4 now on his overall. Also play for the final sector. Let's see how nicely he does it. He's playing safe there. Should have set to 12. Side as much. Not having the confidence to go flat out there, but well, I think it's still improvement. It's cleaner and clean enough to go all the way up to P12. 120 flat. And I think he's made up a lot of time there. It's about a second faster in his previous attempt. So good job to Cece to put himself safe for now. Meanwhile, anyone else on the hot lap is Culado. Culado, personal best sector 2 in the Ferrari. So that's what Culado do up from P9. Brakes into turn 11. Now let's see how it does in turn 12. More aggressive there. And just holds the throttle nicely indeed into the final corner. And the Collado. I think there should be a significant improvement for Collado. How far up can he bring it up? The order the answer is P8, up 1 spot just. 118.838. But it is really tight midfield as we're seeing. Well, we only have a second covering Takumense P2 all the way down to Maple Leaf in P9. So pretty tight upper midfield we're seeing here. So, meanwhile, more hot laps along the way. X-Knights and beats him. Currently on the hot lap. Let's go ball with X-Knights. X-Knights on the hot lap. Not a personal best first sector, but certainly I think he's going to gain more time in the second sector a bit, but still not on course for improvement. Well, he would definitely want more than that kind of breathing space there in case anything happens behind him. So X-Knights really trying to hurt to the car through sector 3 now. He has a bit more time to make out to improve his time. There's still a few more places up for the takings here. And he really wants this lap to count. So, oh, that slide's not going to help him much. And he backs off of it. So not a good time, not a good lap for X-Knights. What about Beasim? Beasim now is already 4 tenths up. So Beasim looking forward to punish X-Knights for a mistake. See another improvement up the grid. I think that's Kurozuha in the P10. What about Beasim? Beasim goes on the P11, 119.607. So X-Knights now in danger because Darky's was on the hot lap and he has not invalidated this lap this time. So Darky is now set to punish X-Knights for his mistake. And of course that's gonna be pretty dangerous here. Oh no. And this is reminiscent of, I don't know, Sergio Perez. You make a mistake, you just bail over the lap and that goes in. Then you're out of Q1. And X-Knights is indeed out of Q1 for now. Darky goes out of P5 with a 118.333. And certainly X-Knights will have to go again. We're unfortunate there for X-Knights to just throw away a lap like that. One slide and you're out. And that's the reality of Formula 1 here. Now, what about SS38? Let's bring him aboard a lap with him. Oh, he cuts the corner! Oh, I'm sorry. It is indeed. Yes. Classic commentator's curse. It is commentator's curse. The moment the camera pans on SS38, and yes, he has. It invalidated this lap time, unfortunately. Now, any more drivers on the trying to form themselves out for a lap? The Von Heli, no, in lap. New. Yes, New is currently on our lap. So, New certainly sat with improvement here, and there's a lot of ground ahead of him. So, let's bring on board New. Let's go on board the camera, the driver's view camera. Let's go on board the TV port for New and bring on board a lap of him. Oh, look at the slide. So just enjoy the Ferrari engines of the Alfa Romeo car. Improves his time, doesn't improve his placement, stays P14 after all it's sliding there. Well, one driver is definitely not sliding. It's SS38 who's going on. No, sorry. He's invalidated again. X-Knights is not sliding around. X-Knights is improving this time. And definitely looking to right that wrong there. Personal best sector 1, personal best sector 2, and he knows this is the final attempt to do it. He's running out of battery, but with just 1 minute to go on the clock, This is a make or break attempt by tonight, and doesn't need to do that. Hits the curb, clips the curb out of 10-11, and he doesn't really need to do that. Unsettles is going on the final corner, and is that the moment where the Alfa Romeo team crashes out of qualifying and is set to start off the back for round 3 of the JAF. Let's look at X-Knight. Can he improve his time? Only 14 fastest for X-Knight. Noom is on the edge with 98.46. Just easy. It's already, well, Noom is already is done for, is invalidated. There's only up to Facile strategy to try to unsettle this. Now, Facile strategy, we know he's way off the pace. A 1 minute 23.074 is his current time, but if that, I'm just hoping my timing is inaccurate and he can make it at some point try to unsettle the two Alfa Romeos on the edge. Oh, he's breaking so much there, though. Oh, that's a poorly executed 10-12 from Facile strategy. Misses the apex. And I think that's done for. That's qualifying. Settled. Done and settled. Alfa Romeo lucky to get both drivers in the Q2 and staying in the fight. The two retirements, the two drivers in relegation. Just seizing in the Aston Martin with 120 nil. Well, we just called it quits already. And Facile strategy with that 1 minute 23.074. One McLaren and one Aston Martin out of qualifying. Of course, we can't fail to mention once again the very tight midfield we've seen, all the way from Technomancer down to New. It is just pretty tight. We don't see any large gaps appearing all across the board, and we can expect from this grid in Q1, we can expect it to be a very interesting race later, assuming the race pace stays as consistent as it is. But Panda, then look at that, with that gap of 8.5 tenths of a second between Pandaden and Technomancer. I can't believe it. Wow. And we can certainly say championship leader Skipper will have something to worry about in the name of Pandaden, and now Skipper would definitely be aiming for a second place finish to try to minimize the losses to Pandaden in the Drivers' Championship after this race. 23 points is the gap. Well, might just be hoping to just keep it down all the way at to just 16 points if possible. So here are driver standings here are your standings for qualifying right now. 8 tenths of a gap from Pandaden to Technomancer, but also 8 tenths of a gap from Technomancer in second place all the way down to Culado in P9. So it goes to show to you a very Verstappen-esque 2023 performance from Pandaden, but a very tightly contested midfield all the way down. So what will Q2 bring? Now we're going to have 5 drivers eliminated in Q2, not just 2 in Q1. So can you imagine the slowest 5 drivers getting eliminated from this very tightly contested midfield? I don't know. Now is it going to be a big question mark? And Alfa Romeo will definitely have something to worry about if they really want to bring if any of the 2 cars to Q3. Big discussions going on in Alfa Romeo right now, and they'll be helping if they want to try to start further up the grid. So Q2 is about to commence, and we're going to see if any driver is going to be in a rush enough to bring his car out onto the pit lane. Are we going to see any drivers quick enough to bring them in the pit lane? Still waiting. Oh, we are. We're going to see drivers going out already. We're going to see, once again, this Maple Leaf. One of the only leavers out of the pit lane. He knows he wants to get a banker lap in. So Maple Leaf, the first driver, well, out of the pits. Maple Leaf, obviously our reserve driver. And he really wants to get the lap time in as quickly as possible in case there's any disruption later. So we haven't really seen Maple Leaf as the, well, as a reserve driver. Of course, Maple Leaf now in the has 2 races ready. Also sharing number 3 number with Wayne, of course. And well, let's see how Maple Leaf is going to negotiate the tight streets of Australia. Seeing as well, commences lap. Let's go around. And Maple Leaf will now start this lap. Here in Australia, let's go on board with Maple Leaf as he starts the lap time. It's number 3 car, and very nicely negotiated first 6 corners there. That's nicely planted, of course. Maple Leaf, we know how strong he is, especially in the 4th and 5th seasons of the JAF. And look at that, Maple Leaf just throwing the car around and having very good stability there in the Haas. His first sector is going to be a 27.275. Really decent there from Maple Leaf. Tecromancer goes even faster than 27 flat 2.9. What about those behind? Big gap all the way back to Ramen. He has Eon space to actually set his lap. So Ramen we're enjoying all the space he has to him. Maple Leaf 44.9 across the second sector. Tecromancer just about matches him. Maple Leaf now in the 10-11, where all the traffic's just about. Oh no, that's spin 8, but yes, now he has space all the way to himself, of course. Tecromancer just need for Maple Leaf for the line he's been clearing. Oh, a little deep there from Maple Leaf to the final corner. That's suddenly about to lose him some time. But what is that banker going to be from Maple Leaf? It's going to be a 1 minute 18.542. Tecromancer surely will beat it, but by how much? The answer is by 4 tenths. 118.141. What about those behind? Look at Ramen. Ramen has invalidated his lap time. What about next driver on the line is Daki and Von Helle, 2 Mercedes drivers running line of stern there. What about Daki? Can he beat Tecromancer to first place? I don't think so. Not a good lap there by Daki. 118.903. Von Helle pretty steadily would match it. The record is slower, 119.887. He was still in his Q1 attempt from Von Helle. Wayne is next across the line. The skipper goes to 118.448. Wayne 118.5. Still in Maple Leaf. Maybe just sandbagging a little bit there. But what about, well, Pandadan? Pandadan, who was beaten the field by 8 tenths of a second in the first part of qualifying. Certainly, I think, oh, look at that. Look at that from Pandadan. Very nicely planted indeed. And he's beaten by a huge margin again. Well, not so huge. 3 tenths of a second, 117.821. But surely that should be seeing him safely into Q2. Obviously Q3, sorry. What about SS38? On the medium compound tires. One to watch for here. Good first sector. Second sector wise. Oh, still strong. It's still strong from SS38. Moving on to the medium tires. He wants a bit wide through 10-10. Still validated. So he can go on his way. I think his teammate, you in front of him, who safely gets out of his way. Oh, that's a Williams. And yes, SS38 going through the traffic pretty smoothly. And now across the final corner, where does that bring him? Oh, P7. Okay, I don't think that's going to be enough for SS38. He needs to go into the soft tires. Now, New goes 7, displaces SS38. So it's definitely not enough. You can't go on the medium compounds here. Beats him on the softs. It's the next across the line. So beats him here. What can he do? All the way across the line, beats him, goes into P8. SS38 down on a spot down. Maybe a wrong strategic error in this spot. Next driver is you. Let's go on board with him to start the lap of Melbourne. in total, if you're looking at GG, used to crash out, he didn't, but he almost did it. Wow, a very slippery lap time there. But goes up into P3, 118.188 for you. So a very, very leery lap from you, but surely should be safe, I guess. Goes even faster than the skipper, of course, so that's gonna be a lap we're looking at. Ramen, of course, another slippery driver. Well, goes on to P5, 118.481, right behind him, X Knights. Next driver across the line has invalidated his lap time, so we're only with all drivers who have completed a hot lap except for X Knights. Oh no. So, once again, we have new on, as one of the Alfa Romeos on the edge of P10, on the edge of not making the Q3, on the edge, X Knights on the relegation zone without a lap time, even. Oh no. Just want to be forgetting that. Now, drivers in the hot lap now. We have Kurozuha starting his lap. Right behind him, Von Haley. So, P13 and P14 starting hot lap, and not in the top 10 so far. Time to beat to get in the top 10. 118.904 by New. Ducky obviously just a thousandth of a second in front of him. Not feeling safe, so he's going on an out lap now. But what can Kurozuha do? He has 7 tenths to make up, and he's not in personal best sector 1. Disaster there, and Von Haley's invalidated his lap time, so it's game over for Von Haley. He needs to go again. Kurozuha still on it, but he needs to make a chunk of time in Q2, in the sector 2 and sector 3, and he does, I think. Well, by a bit, but it's still progress. PB sector 2. But it is going to be some sort of motivation for him for his final run. This should be just a moment for Kurozuha in the Haas driver, and just, not so slippery there. Just planted it on the track, just trying to keep it safe and leave for another day, which is his final run in just a few minutes' time. But whoa, he misses the apex at Kurozuha, and I don't think that's going to be enough, of course. It's not going to be enough, but is it enough to bring him ahead of beating him at least? Let's have a look at the lap time he's about to set. It is P11. With a line at 119.517. Can do better than that. Well, I think now it's going to be SS38 with that strategical error into the drop zone now. Now in the P13, SS38 now on the correct set of tires. You definitely can go faster. PB sector 1 already, and is now throwing the car everywhere across turns 6 and 7. Now trying the long back straight, to prepare for the very treacherous turns 9 and 10. And it's still, whoa, just only a 10 up. And it misses, big time, goes on the gravel trap, lap time gone. Well, it's not invalidated yet, but he knows he's lost the lap time. It's all gone, it's all went away from him. He needs to go again. But Von Haley has not this time. Von Haley is going on a second run on that set of soft compound tires, and a very strong sector 1. Well, sector 2, a bit of a PB as well, but not too much improvement compared to sector 1. SS38 still improves to P11. The gap to Noom is now even more treacherous now. That like 6 tenths of a gap is now just 2 tenths to P11. So he's going on the outlap again, but Von Haley looking set to improve once again. And drivers just keep going deep in the final corner. I don't know if that's a head we're going in the corner, but drivers have been losing time there. Von Haley now goes P12, losing time there, but still personal best. And will drivers try to reformulate the strategy going to the very dangerous turns 14? I wonder so, but Noob is set to improve again. Oh, he's lost it. He's lost the car into turn 1, and the thing is going to be, yes, back off. He's back off of it. He's going to go for extra warm-up lap. So that is about it for New. What about Daki? And Daki's on P2. Takomansa. Takomansa is still on the improving lap. Still on the hot lap there. PB sector 1. PB sector 2. Let's see if Takomansa gets caught out in the final corner. Not as much. This should be a good lap from Takomansa. He's currently sitting in third place. Probably just a lap time just to warm himself up in the Q3. Takomansa goes to the top of the table. P1, 117.484. Great lap there from Takomansa, and Now we are looking at new X9 team has started the lap, so you will keep an eye out for two Alfa Romeo cars. No, New is on the warm up. But one driver who's not Wayne. Sorry, let's get Wayne. Wayne currently sitting 8th. We thought Wayne was definitely a driver could qualify well. It's not safe, and that's why he's going quick now. Purple sector 2 for Wayne, and this is going to be a very quick lap. We're going to see a good improvement from Wayne from P8. Very tight line taken from Wayne. He's very quick there through the final corner. And let's see laps is going to set. Can he actually challenge the top 2 of this? Quite. He quite can do it. P2, 1:17.649. Good lap from Wayne, but I think it should be even better from X9 because he needs to. No time on the board, and he needs to regroup quick. If he can bring those tires to the end, he may recharge those tires for one more time before going again, but I don't think this is enough. I really don't think this is enough. It's only a banker, stays at the bottom of the table, and I think he'll need to improve again. Now, let's have a look at more times. How about Newms bidding again through turn 10? B-Sim hasn't, but B-Sim has not improved. B-Sim is now one time down on the previous attempt, and he has to become 6 cents in order to make it. He will not have the benefit of an extra warm-up lap compared to X9's. Now, PB sector 2, but he needs to make it count this time around if he wants to make it. Oh! He's invalidated it! Game over. Unless he can try to warm up those tires and get the lap started again within the next 45 seconds or so. And I'll tell you what, X9 says he didn't even need a warm-up lap. X9 is going again. He's gone again. X9 he's ignited himself. PB sector 1, not a PB sector 2, but still on it. Can he try to go up into Q3 this time? Look at X9 sir. Turn 11. No, I think he knows where he's making mistakes, so he's trying to right that wrong there. Look at that. How many times can he control the car around? He's running out of battery though, so I don't think he's going in for another attempt. Should he have recharged? I have no idea. But this lap, I'll tell you the answer. I think he needed to recharge. There's no point going for it. Stays last. They'll really have drivers already being eliminated there. The bigger question is SSCD has crashed! SSCD has crashed! So he's out as well. The question now is, no one can improve already. Von Haley's run out of time. Von Haley stays P12. No, that's it. So that is it for Q2. And your 5 drivers eliminated are SS City 8 with a 119.1, Von Haley in the Mercedes starting P12, 119.2, Kurozuha and BC with 119.5 each, and X9 with 120.5. New once again escaping by the thinnest margins there. Alfa Romeo not so lucky this time with X9 being out of qualifying, but New once again making true by the skin of his teeth at the benchmark timing. So that's after New. We can go to the tempo. Well, I don't think it's any tempo in Australia there, but she can go to the tempo and pray after the race. Look at that. Just freaking lucky there. The question is, can this luck continue and into Q3 to guarantee himself an even more decent starting grid position when the time comes? We shall see for New, but here is the end of Q2 ascent. Taco Manson with a 2/10 lead over Wayne, Dan Panadan, Daki, your 4 drivers in the 117s, then remaining 6 drivers in the 118s, Culado, Yu, Skipper, Ramen, Maple Leaf, and New, making it into Q3. So, Q3 just about to get underway now. And we'll be waiting for the next section. So, welcome to Q3. Total of 10 drivers, once again. And, but just if you're wondering why there are only 7 drivers, Sky has not made it, so Sky is missing. And the decision by management team wasn't to wait, so that's why we didn't see Sky, unfortunately. So, unfortunately, he will not be taking anything from today's race unless and if he's going to be made to start, he will be starting at the back of the grid. So just unfortunate there for the Red Bull team. Just want them to actually continue in this way. So drivers now coming out. Let's have a look. They're not taking the time this time around. They're already coming out pretty instantly. First driver, not Maple Leaf this time, but it's going to be our championship leader, Skipper. And Tecromancer close form up behind him. We know these two are very close friends. They have been racing each other for the past few seasons, of course. And, in fact, every other driver except Noom is already out on track, on the outlap. Let's see what transpires. So, Skipper is the first driver out on the circuit, and he'll be the first driver to set the benchmark timing. Happens now, Skipper onto the main straight and is about to start his flying lap. What can Skipper do? Let's go over Skipper and see what's he capable of. Oh, Wayne's disqualified! Wrong way? Yeah, I think he spun there. I think he spun at a... Yes, he spun at a long straight and now he's been disqualified. So Wayne will start P10 at best. The game has disqualified Wayne, and that is it for qualifying for Wayne. What happened there to Wayne? Big question mark. But, well, unfortunate there. But Skipper has also invalidated his lap. Skipper is invalidated. Championship leader has invalidated his lap time. Tango Manson taking full advantage of it. Goes below the 27 times, going 26. 26.9 for Taco Manson. Maple Leaf also invalidating his lap time. Oh my goodness me. Has the pressure got to some of these drivers here and turn the emotions down on heat. Look at that, Taco Manson now taking full advantage of this late qualifying drama and starting a purple sector 44.6 through the second sector. And who would have taught Taco Manson to be on surprise here? Look at this. Look at this from Taco Manson now. Round the final corner, and this is going to be a very quick lap. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this lap. It's going to be a 1:17.601. So the time to beat from Taco Manson. Pandadan is going to get purple first second 26.7 from Pandadan. Look at that. So, next driver course line is U goes to a 1:18.793. Still 1 second slower compared to what Taco Manson has set. Next driver across the line is Ramen, then Ducky. Ramen goes to a 1:19.635, probably on U sides there from Ramen. Ducky goes P2, 1:17.860. What about Panda then? Really quick through the second sector there, of course. And Panda then's flying, of course. He's really flying through the final corner, of course. And what's the time going to be? Is it P1? It is P1 by a massive margin, 1:17.091 from Panda then. But I think the drivers will match him. Skipper has matched him through the second sector. Skipper's on the hard lap. Through the 10 lap he goes. And Skipper is not willing to land this one go. He knows that he is the championship leader. He wants to retain that lead. Skipper around the final corner. He knows Panda Dan is his direct rival. Can he beat him? The answer is not quite. And it's in fact a second slower to Panda Dan. Goes only 4 fastest. But now it's going to be even more competition right behind him because Maple Leaf has done a very decent lap so far, and he's gone P4. He's displaced Skipper. Skipper, our current championship leader, is down onto the third row already. Work to do for current championship leader in Williams, down to P5. And I think, well, he has something to worry about now, because Panadan, given the margin, I can foresee he was going to string all the way to the front row, and it's going to be off the road while Skipper is going to fight his rivals along in second, third, and fourth. This is not looking good for our championship leader. So, finally, while the first round's out, Noom decided to go out of sync to the rest of the field. So Noom is coming on his out lap. Car number 26. Not sure if he's got anything to do with Danny Kvyat. I'm not expecting him to dive bomb anybody, but Noom on the out lap. Certainly hoping that there'll be no traffic to disrupt his running. So let's see how it's going to be. We're looking at. We have Tacromancer still going out on an out lap. Oh, oh no! I think he misjudged it. No, because their car's going out in front of him. So look at Noom. It's not going to be. Oh, he's invalidated it. Gonna go again. So, game restarted for Noom. We only have 8 times on the board so far. We have Panadan 117 North, Tacromancer 117 Darky 117.8, Maple Leaf 117.9, 3 timings on the 180s of Skipper, Corrado, and you. Ramen Del Sol 119 time there. So once again, for the final runs, we have Tacromancer leading us laps, not running in sync compared to the conventional Q3 second run sort of timings. Question is whether he has the time for a third run. This is a big question. Is he trying to aim for a third run? I have no idea. But right now, he's going around for a second run with just 4.5 minutes left to go on the clock. Tacromancer is now on the start of his hot lap. Looking forward. Oh, that was Swishy. Should turn 2. Oh no, I think he lost it. And I think with it goes away some lap time. Let's see whether it affected him or not. Tacromancer Noom has once again started his lap. Tacromancer goes through first sector. He's indeed lost a chunk of time. 8 tenths now, so I think that lap time is as good as gone. So let's go on board with Noom. Hopefully, yeah, he's not invalidated his lap time this time. Tacromancer has to go again, but Noom 27.1 first sector should be good enough to bring him to the top 8, challenging Ramen, of course. Yu has obviously also run out. Yu has invalidated his lap though. Noom through the second sector. What's it going to be? Noom 44.8. Oh, that's strong. This is very strong from Noom. Keep my eyes peeled for Noom. What can he do? So, I think this is going to bring him into the 118s for sure. Noom is definitely going to the 118s with this sort of pace. The question is, how far of the midfield can Noom go with this lap? 3 minutes on the clock to go. Just sliding around, trying to make sure he positions his car nicely for the final run to the line. He has to tow for the car in front. And we'll go to a 118.5 P7 from Noom. That was decent. One more Ramen behind, who is improving all as well. Is he going to join the 118 gang with that? So Ramen round the final corner, not invalidating his lap time. This is going to be a good lap for Ramen. He does join the 118, actually goes pretty far ahead. He goes P6. Nice lap from Ramen, and he's back through it. Oh, I don't think you're supposed to cut the corners like that. I think the stewards will be having a look at that. I mean, even though it's qualifying, I do not think you should be cutting corners like that, Ramen. That Well, that happened to me as a racer before in season 4. I've did that. I got Investigate Mothers 2 as myself, and I think Ramen has got, but it's got on stream, of course, and I don't think that's going to be good for his penalty points there because it's constantly on the camera. It's not off-roading through turns 1 and 2. You're not supposed to do that. So a little bit of talking to riders later for Ramen for sure. Meanwhile, more off-roading for Ramen. He knows he wants to get out in time again. Through turns 9 and 10 again, Ramen. Oh, you can't do that, Ramen. Oh, cutting the corners everywhere. It's cutting everywhere. And that's why you have all these yellow flags appearing. Ramen's just cutting the corners. No matter where he goes, oh man, you can't do that, man. But meanwhile, what you can do is improve your time. Skipper is showing you how to improve your time. Skipper, personal best sector 1, matches sector 2 time, autoplay 4 in sector 3, but I think you need more improvement than that if you want to try to do something, Skipper. I don't think it's going to be causing any sort of trouble to top 4, unless this is going to be a magical sector 3. Oh no, Skipper. Oh no. Can he get into the front 4 at least? Well, he can get a toe to lead himself to lead. Charles Leclerc showing us how to lead a race from row 2 on the grid so far. So he needs to go up, and he does. Donking final sector from Skipper. Oh, where did that come from? Half a second improvement in the P3 for Skipper. And maybe you'll start there at best, but I believe there'll be a lot of competition coming from behind. Maple Leaf is one of them, who's around personal best sector 2. You look out for Maple Leaf, of course, in Haas. He's one of the drivers who's set to bring down Skipper back to the third row of the grid. Maple Leaf through the final corner. How much of improvement is going to make? The answer is, only P4. So he's not going to be disrupting Skipper. That Skipper stays in the second row of the grid. But the question now is, what about Pendaden? Can Pendaden improve his time further? He can. It's still on for a quick one. Taco Benson right behind as well. Is head-to-head between Pendaden and Taco Benson, who's going to be on pole. Taco Benson also improving, but it's already 3 tenths down on Pendaden. Pendaden, can we see him? Come on, chat. Put your bets. Can Pendaden go into the 116s? Let us know in the chat. Come on, a few more seconds to go. Do you think Pendaden can go down to the 116s? He's only 91 milliseconds to do so. The answer is yes! Oh my goodness me! 1:16.857 from Pendaden! Holy cow! Holy cow! Taco Benson pits! And what a left that was from Pendaden! 8 tenths up on the whole competition there. And the whole, well, another 8 tenths to his rival, of course, Ducky. Ducky is in P5 now. What can he do? Aston Corrado, 2 more drivers still across the line. Ducky, look at that. Can he try and do something disruptive? Oh, he goes P2. Goes P2. Skipper down to P4. And then Ducky's into the front row. We'd say earlier in the pre-qualifying show, he's a strong contender for the championship here. And he goes P2. Showing just what he can do. Corrado. What can Corrado do? Oh, he stays. No, he goes P6 for Corrado. But what a stonking lap that was from Pendaden. Current runners up in the standings, but 6.5 tenths, the gap between himself and the competition. Ducky in P2. Look at that. 1:16.857 championship material. So here's the current standings right now. We have Pendaden in P1, Ducky in 2nd, Tacomancer 3rd, Skipper 4th, Maple Leaf in 5th. And they have Corrado, Ramen, Noom, you, and Wayne, unfortunately, getting disqualified. So, what's it spell for the race? Of course, we have to find out in just a few moments' time. And I think we have to take a break because that was such interesting qualifying session, and I think all of us really out of breath after that. And once again, I think somebody has advanced onto the race page, and it's a typical JAF scenario. Who has advanced? That's a big question. Someone has to give some punishment for that. Oh man. And meanwhile, without further ado, while the administrators of the JAF sort out this debacle, it's time for head for a 5-minute break, and I shall see you in just a few moments' time. Stay tuned for the post-qualifying show. qualifying show, and once again we're here in Australia. Third round of the JF season 7. In case you're just joining us, so obviously qualifying just concluded earlier, with Panadan taking a very convincing 6.5 tenths gap in qualifying over the competition. So let's have a look at the Q3 results once again. Basically featuring your top 10 results, and here it is. We have Panadan in P1, loading drum into the 116s, and obviously we know that with that 1 minute 16 lap, well, it sets itself apart from the rest of the competition. And then we have Daki, and the Korean driver, finishing P2 with 1 minute 17.533. Tekkermans and Skipper really close behind there with 117.6. So second to the fourth, finishing within less than a tenth of each other. Then we have Maple Leaf in fifth place with that 117.852, still within second of Panadendo. Colado, Ramen, Noom, and You also finishing within the second of Maple Leaf. So a pretty distinct upper midfield and upper midfield, as we're seeing here in Q3, and obviously with the drivers, a few of them being eliminated in Q2. Typically, we have drivers. We have drivers setting in 117s. Ducky, Tekkermans, Skipper, Maple Leaf, Colorado, Ramen, Noom, You. We have Dam in the 118s. Then we have not a large group of drivers in the 119s as well. Such as those eliminated in Q2. So we have different sort of competition levels here, different sort of paces here in as is activated in the Australian Grand Prix qualifying. And we know the Melbourne Albert Park circuit is a circuit that rewards drivers who take a risk to actually get as close to the wall as possible without putting the car on the wall. So obviously with that sort of advantage that drivers have, they definitely know that drivers such as Panadan has been rewarded greatly, and with that huge gap to second place, I think Panadan is certainly a driver to be the favorite for the win later in the race. So moving on, we're still waiting for a few more drivers to come into the stream. Sorry, into the lobby. Just about it. Is Ramen in so far? Is a big question. Well, probably down by 1 or 2 more drivers. But otherwise, I think we're just about ready to go. Go racing at this moment in time. It's down by a driver or 2 now. But yes, message in that he needs everybody to be in before we can start a race. So without further ado, let's have a look at one of our key moments in the qualifying session. Use hot lap in particular. Well, a very slippery one, as we did mention, but something I mentioned bringing up in the P3 in Q2. So yes, this was in Q2. Look at how how it shows the car into the first 2 corners. Looks smooth, it looks quick. And I think he gained lots of time within the first sector alone. But as the lap progresses, not sure if he's overworked his tires through the warm-up lap or through the first sector. But here we go. From turns, I think 6 onwards, it starts to get really slippery. Like even turn 5, that flat-out corner, he's almost lost the car while trying to turn. Now turn 6 is smooth again, but we all know with that very long high-speed corners of turns 7 and 8, it is going to be really taxing on these soft compound tires. And that once he reaches turn 9, the very treacherous infamous ass corners, he's just really starting to try and put a car in the right positions. And once again, even if he gets the car in the right places at the right time, it is definitely going to be even worse in the third sector. Look at that. He has a brake in order to prevent the car spinning around in the third sector. And he's trying to wrestle the car again through turns 12, 13, 14. And you can tell the car has a very slippery setup. And with those already somewhat worn tires towards the end of the hot lap, well, he's done it with 118.1. So great analysis on use hot lap there. but still, with managing a very decent P3, just unfortunately he wasn't able to compete for the top few positions in the latter stages of Q3. So, hey, welcome, Clencher. Well, back Clencher, or you, obviously. Welcome to the chat, spectator now. Just about waiting for the race to begin, and now just dropping in, of course, to watch his own hot lap, watching his own hot lap analysis while waiting for the race to start. So, that's something what drivers do before the start of the race. So, well, 1 minute of fame for Buck Clencher, of course, obviously. But well, language, Clencher, language. I know there's no Mr. Ben Sulayem inside of the JAF here, but still, language, please. Let's keep it family friendly. The JAF is not an M18 stream; it is a PG stream. So, usage of language. Um, let's keep it clean, all right? And yes, once again, thanks to the moderators for deleting that slightly profanity written message. And once again, in case you're wondering, if you want to join us for future seasons or are interested in joining us as a staff member or whatever position is, maybe as a steward even, you're welcome to join the Discord server as featured by Clement Turtle. Just posting on the Discord server link inside the chat there. And yes, Clencher, well, Clencher's just being a little shy right there. Claiming his lap was lousy. Well, but not lousy enough to get a kick out of Q2. Still managed to make it in Q3, albeit, well, if he thought that lap was lousy, maybe if you try analyzing his Q3 lap, well, I think he'll be flipping all over us. Yep. And well, if there was a profanity championship here, if there was a profanity championship, I believe Buck Clencher would take, well, he'll be driver champion. There you go. Message deleted by moderator. Well, obviously, if you are going to be given, well, we should propose a new rule. If for every message you get deleted by moderator, 1 championship point will be deducted from the drivers' championship and your constructors' points. So, well, if you want to keep it in this way, I think that could be a potential. Yeah, please find the language. Indeed, yes, one of our moderators doing the jobs right here. Well, it could be a suggestion for season 8 if it happens. Every profanity used, 1 point deducted. We'll have to keep it stream family friendly. And yeah, season 4 champ kick by. If you want to turn that to a hashtag, well, if you crash this later, I think that's going to be a pretty hot hashtag inside the chat later. Well, hopefully, we can see you perform like a Max Verstappen later from P9 to P1, maybe even from P9 to the podium. Well, let's be positive, right? Let's be more optimistic on our season 4 champion, where we know competition has been really heavy for this particular season. But of course, well, we have lots of competition here trying to overturn. About every season so far in the JAF, if you haven't realized, we have a new champion. So, are we going to continue this trend in season 7? That's another question. Are we going to have a repeat champion for once? We have not seen a repeat drivers champion in the JF so far for any of the past 6 seasons. And so far, no, you can't find me as a commentator if you question later. I know my cousins are pretty bad, but well, imagine if David Croft claims that Max Verstappen is going to crash later, and Max Verstappen really crashes, and David Croft gets fired. No. You can't fire me because of that. But meanwhile, speaking of being fired or getting in trouble, one driver is indeed getting into trouble, and that's Ramen. And we did we did talk about that during the latter stages of Q3. We know Q3 has been quite a pressure cooker for some of the drivers there. And Ramen, unfortunately, has followed the rules. We did see him cut a few corners in the bid to try to maximize time on his in lap or out lap, or what we've got a warm up lap to start a new run. And that, of course, if you cut the track, and that says in the rulebook, unfortunately, if you cut the track even on an in and out lap excessively and ridiculously, and that's gonna land you in trouble. And obviously, being caught on the official stream, well, Stewart's, but Stewart doesn't even need to do anything. You just watch this on, and you're in trouble. Obviously, if you remember, some of the high key incidents, where if you recall, Max Verstappen's statistics back in 2021, all being caught on camera and all racing for the championship. Well, something similar here. Ramen is now in trouble, and the stewards are currently investigating that incident. And I don't think it's going to be something good, of course. So, indeed, Ramen has explained himself. Cut a track twice to gain time in order to make it back into the pits. And the ticket has been opened, not by a driver, but our in-house steward, Executive 5. So, Executive 5, doing double duties tonight. For Captain KJ, our cameraman is off duty today, so Executive 5 is doing double duties as cameraman and in-race steward. So hats off to him, having to do job of two persons tonight, and it's going to be a very hard attack on him. And obviously, maybe even potentially setting up lobby as well. So a really, really tackling job for Executive 5 today. So shout out to him in the chat. It's not easy to multi-manage and multitask so many things at once, especially in such an environment. But the JF definitely needs staff. We definitely need a few more helping hands. So, of course, in reference again to Clement Tesl's message, hit us up in the Discord if you're interested in esports, interested in Formula One racing, and if you wish to lend a hand out in this season's JF or even next season. So, give us a like, give us a drop on into the Discord server, and in case you just want racing as a spectator, fret not, you're about to get some racing sooner or later, because we're just about to get started in less than a minute's time. All drivers getting to the seats right now, and we're about to go racing in just a few moments. Without any further ado, let's go. So, well, with a few predictions on the chat already, remember to watch me Clencher. And one of our match team members, odds to win for Clencher, 10,000 to 1. Well, I'll put a doll on that. And obviously, I'll be interested to see if that really works out. Well, JF pools? Let's not talk about gambling. Let's keep it family friendly, all right? So, meanwhile, drivers just about to get ready. It's hot, sunny. Let's see what's going to materialize here. So the setup still being performed on the cars. Let's go over for formation lap. So, formation lap underway, and we have 17 drivers now, and Surprisingly, we have another driver who's joined us. It's Heejin. And we're missing, I think we're missing Ramen. Yes, Ramen is not participating in the race, but he's under investigation, so... So, I don't know what's gonna happen to Ramen, but certainly penalty points or maybe even potential grid drop coming his way. But here we are, we have Heejin, who is something on the back of the grid. After not participating in qualifying but given permission to race by the race stewards right here. Meanwhile, more messages being deleted from Buck Clencher inside the stream chat. So you currently starting from P8. Being a little bit cheeky there on the comments. So here's the grid now. Panadan in first, then Darky in second. Then we have Techromance in third, Skipper fourth. And Ramen, the game crashed for Ramen just as the game started. So Ramen decided to forfeit the race. But I think that's enough punishment. But if that was punishment for him cutting the track, I think that's enough punishment. That's pretty harsh, honestly. So Ramen, unfortunately, he will not be scoring anything. That's really, really disappointing there for Ramen. Really, he's strong here and so undeserved. But such is the brutality of EA games, and well, it's so unlucky there to get fall victim to that. So, meanwhile, just want to get started. Here we go. Lights are about to go off. And the third round of Season 7 is go, go, go! So, Panadan, Darky, the front two get away pretty even Stevens there. Is the Carter down? No, it's actually Panadan really, really ahead of everyone already. And it's all jumping already behind cars going all over the track there. And we see dirt being thrown everywhere. As you see, now we have Neum trying to make up places around the outside. He's going to make a mega move. It's not quite stuck in the midfield right there. But they all through pretty cleanly right there. It's still Penna, then Ducky, then Skipper, then Techromancer, then Maple Leaf and Colorado. So far, Ducky, he's pulled away from the Skipper, honestly, and is now keeping Panadan really, really at on terms right there. So Panadan not exactly pulling away from second place Ducky in these early stages of lap 1. And in fact, Ducky appears to have a better race trim there. Well, perhaps winning in the last few, because he's certainly playing more competitive compared to Panadan there. And the gap is pretty much half a second so far. So it's Panadan versus Ducky in its early stages. They have a hugely contested midfield at the back. The gap between Ducky and Skipper are already 1.5 seconds towards the end of lap 1. Out of the 29, Panadan maintains the lead ahead of Ducky as we now go through and the end lap into lap 2. And now Techromance is in fact closing in on Skipper. Skipper needs to be careful about what's happening behind him. But a very low news to the pits, of course. Neum and Facile strategy probably having some damage now. So Neum and Facile strategy dishing the mediums compound tires. They are going to new set of mediums, but they do have front wing damage. And it's like both of them are pitting really early there. So quite unfortunate for Neum and Facile strategy. Gabriel in front is gained ahead now still 0.8 of a second. That is Panadan and Ducky. So let's look at the tire information there. So majority of the drivers, we have a mixture of cars on the soft and mediums, and perhaps that's why we have Skipper way slower compared to the two, but the tire advantage should come back to Skipper once the time comes. And now we go side by side with the two Ferraris, Wayne and Colorado. Wayne takes the place away from Corrado, his teammate, and Wayne's up in the 7th place. So keep an eye on drivers like Wayne, trying to pull himself up back in the competition right there. Wayne is really on the charts right now. So far, meanwhile, we look at Skipper and Takamatsu, and I think Skipper has not managed to break out of DRS from Takamatsu. Takamatsu will now have DRS over Skipper. No, I don't think so. Yeah, not yet, but I think Takamatsu will have it. The gap between two drivers, 0.8 of a second right now. It's pretty even. Steve is down in front, and Skipper apparently already starting to close in on Ducky in its early stages. So are the soft tires already starting to wear out? Because apparently Skipper and Takamatsu are already starting to close in on the two leaders. And that is something to be worthy to take note of if you are Ducky and Panadad, because, well, that's going to be something of a concern, but I don't think if you are sitting in the back, even in the midfield, I think the soft tire is still working for it because you have the benefit of DRS, and that's the case for Glencher. You. Maple Leaf is under pressure from you, and in fact Wayne as well. Maple Leaf is not having a race pace he wants. Maple Leaf is under huge pressure now. Look at that. In fact, you using the benefit of soft tires to try to get past Maple Leaf. If you're having a tire advantage right now, has to look, but not quite. So Maple Leaf is under huge pressure now from you. You is trying to find a way past, can go down the inside of 10-14, not quite. Maple Leaf defense is bringing a whole ton of cars with him right now. This whole train is starting to form, and Yassisi has in fact retired for the race. He has crashed at the exit of 10-11, so the whole race is neutralized. Maple Leaf can breathe a sigh of relief. One car out of the race already, and we have cars going to the pits of X9 and B-Sim. Well, I'm not sure if they were involved in that incident, but they're all pitting. No, it's advantages. It's advantages them. The safety car was called just as we were at the entry, and they're going on fresh set of hard tires. This could change the race big time, and this could really help strategically those in the back, because X-Knights and B-Sim are now on a favorable tire, which could potentially bring them to the end of the race on that particular set of tires. So that's the case as it is right now. Well, we have X9 and B-Sim on now the hard tires. For the rest in front, it's a little too late to switch tires. The safety car has not caught them, but can they make any strategical changes? And meanwhile, if you're just watching the sprint race so far in Formula 1, you're looking at, well, it's a McLaren 1-2 in favor of Oscar Piastri. It's the sprint winner of the Formula 1 sprint race in Qatar. So meanwhile, the question is, who's going to take advantage of the safety car? We have Ducky pits in, Von Haley comes in. It's a Mercedes double stack, and is it going to work out? I think the gap should be big enough to work out, but wow, that was close. But yes, look at that. The safety car now, catching up and back in the pack up, is now Pandadan on soft tires, and from Skipper, Takamatsu, Maple Leaf, you in 5th place, Wayne in 6th, Kulada in 7th, Ducky on a fresh set of tires in 8th, on the first set of mediums in fact, SS38 on the mediums in 9th, Kurasuha in 10th position, Heejin out from last, great job for him, up to 11th place, just outside the points right now. Then we have drivers on first set of tires who remain at sub. Von Haley, X9, B-Sim, New, and physical strategy. He's just down to 12. What happened to him? It's gonna place back, I think. It's down to 12. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, I have no idea what happened. So far, no news of the safety car coming in, and just driving some trying to warm up the tires. Oh no, that's late. That's very late for the safety car coming this lap. Oh, Von Haley's got a penalty. It's got a severe collision with Kurozuha. That's definitely going to be investigated there. And another safety car for Casa. And look at the Benedet's jumping. Skipper's caught napping. Taco Mensah's going to have a good jump at him there. And the late safety car's caught a few drivers napping, including Skipper there. Skipper's lost of time to Benedet already. And he's to find a way to try and get past Taco Mensah. Oh no, Taco Mensah's already all the way back on Skipper. Look at this. I mean, we're going to potentially see any overtakes there from Skipper and Taco Mensah. You has been the place up on Maple Leaf so far. But oh, look at that. Side by side, you and Maple Leaf. And it's all unraveling here. Penedant is now streaking away, using that great jump to his advantage there. 1.5 seconds ready. Skipper has to think all about Taco Mensah now. He can't rest. He can't well rest on his laurels right now, because Taco Mensah is over the back of him, and he's not letting the one go. He's not letting someone go, man. Taco Mensah, 0.2 of a second, and DRS is going to be enabled from the next lap onwards. Taco Mensah just sitting there, hanging around, not letting Skipper go away. Well, I think soft tires are also starting to go off, so Skipper also gradually starting to catch up Penedant at this stage of the race. And the gap's down to 1.1, but still, is game of defense there for Skipper. He can't let Taco Mensah have advantage there, and they start lap 7 out of 29. So DRS not quite so far, but it is still Penedant from Skipper from Taco Mensah. And now Skipper is now within that DRS of as Wayne get past Maple Leaf. So the top three within DRS of each other. Facile Strategy's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Top three separated within just 1.5 seconds now. It's just like real life Formula 1, just as a McLaren versus Williams versus AlphaTauri right now. Just the question is, when will DRS be activated for any sort of overtake to occur? Meanwhile, very interesting fight in the midfield right now with Wayne Corrado, Maple Leaf, 3 wide going to paint 11. Oh, down inside goes Von Haley. Oh, pushes 2 cars wide. Ducky on advanced Ducky with fresh eyes, pushing 2 cars wide, and I think that's going to be investigated there. They saw it on stream. That's a bit naughty there from Ducky. Well, I know you have a pace advantage, Ducky, but you can't overtake like this, mate. Oh no, and it's a brilliant double overtake, but oh no, you have to be clean. You have to be clean. And I'm certain that that's going to be some ticket opening regarding that move from Ducky. DRS has been able now to make things a little bit easier. Ducky's over the back of Wayne as well. And oh, slide. There's a slide from you. We saw that during the qualifying analysis, and that's going to allow Wayne to get onto all the back there. Now Ducky's dragging along with him. Now, you, Wayne, and Ducky, line of sight now, has that mistake from you, cost him. There's going to be DRS activated here. There is going to be DRS. Open now. Down the inside goes Wayne. Wayne is overtaking through this spot. Wayne is through. Can Ducky go through? Not quite. It's now the Ferrari man in front in P4. You in P5. Ducky in P6. And now it's going to be Ducky, but now it's DRS. It goes switches back to you. You now is the DRS. No, not quite. It's double DRS, but now you stays P5. But now Wayne can't shake him off. It's going to be a tight fight for P4 all the way through now. Let's see what's going to happen here. No moves down the inside. But, is it going to be... Oh, not poor exit from you. Wayne slid us off. And now you has to take more of the defensive than the offensive now. Or has those soft tires going down the cliff. Because apparently, it's now those on the medium compound tires having an advantage. Back out in front is still Penedant, closing in well, falling into the clutch of the skipper still, but this battle is showing you that how the soft tires are going down the cliff, and now proper down the inside. Ducky is making attacks there, and all they are almost making contact side by side round the outside, and it is Ducky who eventually prevails and it goes up into P5. Now, what about Wayne? Can Wayne defend against Ducky, who's on those fresher medium compound tires? That will still be able to deal with DRS there. Wayne and Ducky. Ducky ran out of the DRS. Wayne doesn't. Now Ducky's. Oh, Wayne takes the defensive line. Around the outside goes Wayne, and no, Ducky takes it. But that's a safety car because SS38 has retired all the way through turn down to 6. Has Ducky made the move before or after the safety car was called? And oh, look, was Delta time is really calling drivers off guard there. Now, the question is, Panda then, with 8 lap 0 soft compound tires, I'm pretty sure he wants to go in. What does Skipper do? Skipper, he's also coming in. So, drivers thinking it's a no-brainer to take advantage of safety car now, the top 3 all pit. The question now is, and this will be pivotal to the race win, what tires do they go on? They go on the hard tires. That Panda then goes on hards. No-brainer that. Oh, Clencher! You has DNF. You has DNF where? He has DNF on the pit entry, doesn't he? What's happened to you? That's a very weird place to DNF, of course. And we have 3 drivers already out. How do you DNF during a safety car, ladies and gentlemen? Well, unless you well, do you think Marcus Ericsson hit him? I have no idea, but well, unless. Well, if you're Roman Grosjean, of course, and you has left the session, but maybe. Well, he's surprisingly quiet inside the stream chat right now. I will expect him to make a few messages about his retirement inside the stream chat. So far, no messages, but oh, surprising! Eh? How did he get retired? It's down to P15. Thankfully, well, hopefully, nobody is vested on you to win. And, well, can someone delete Clement Turtle's message about petition to fire a palace if you crashes later? Because I think, I don't know. I do not know if that was it was a Crashgate moment or was that completely unrelated. But let's not forget, Alpine's previous team, his name is Renault. And Renault belonged to Nelson Piquet, remember 2008, the Crashgate incident. And maybe in 2009, he crashed again in Singapore a year later. And it sounds all orchestrated there as you has retired. So, meanwhile, safety car still making around his way. We'll find out more from you. Why did he crash? But from the looks of the messages from management team, it looks pretty suspicious. I won't comment further. Let's comment further on the race. So far, it is Panda then. Skipper X Knight's already up in the P3. Skipper up. Tachomaster up in the P4. B-Sim P5. 6th place you have Ducky, Wayne in 7, and Maple Leaf in P8. And what you're seeing here is 8 different constructors in the top 8 places. Amazing that. Look at that. We have a McLaren, we have a Williams, we have an Alfa Romeo, we have an AlphaTauri, we have Aston Martin, Mercedes, Ferrari, and Haas. Look at that. And imagine if Ramen and Red Bull continues. We have 9 teams in the top 9. This goes to show the Constructors' Championship is all to play for here in the JAF. But how often do you see that? 8 different constructors in the top 8. So safety car, still ongoing. Lap 11 out of 29. We should expect safety car to come in at the end of this lap, and it is coming in at the end of this lap. So Panadon will lead the pack through the final corners. And now Panadon and Skipper, now they start the race, and Skipper's not, he's not taking it, napping this time. He's now actually closer to Panadon, and the championship fight is now on. The two title protagonists now fighting out for the crown, the 25 points. Who's going to take it this time? This question. Skipper is not going to give this one up. As Tango Benson now takes X-Knight. X-Knight is yet to pit now. He's on 6 lap older hard compound tires. Now let's have a look at Panadon versus Skipper. The championship fight now is now streaking away from the competition now. First and second place. Is Panadon able to pull away beyond that crucial 1 second window at this safety car restart? And the question now is, well, not quite still. It's still 0.8 of a second. We'll skip over the second round. Which is stronger? Which driver is stronger with the harder compound tires? Is it going to be Panadon and McLaren, or is it going to be the Skipper on Williams? We all know. Oh, he misses apex a little bit. That Panadon. So he's not going to have a good exit as compared to Skipper, but still with a better straight line speed on that setup, brings him to beyond that, but just about beyond that 1 second window. If he just needs to do a bit more to shake Skipper outside of 1 second, there he does it. Meanwhile, look at X-Knight and Darky. X-Knight is causing a little bit of trouble there to those on the different strategy. Look at that. X-Knight, Darky, Wayne and beats him. Now, we have those drivers on freshly hard compound tires trying to make a move, and well, Darky on the mediums, of course, a significant tire advantage, but then you can't find a place to pass around this very tight, twisty street circuit. Now it's going to bring along Wayne with him. It's almost pushing. It's almost pushing X-Knight. Darky's impatiently just trying to get past the Alfa Romeo driver, as well as Wayne. Wayne has to go along with him. Gas a toe. And now X-Knight's expected, yes, he loses 2 places in one straight, but now he has to worry about Wayne as well. X-Knight, Darky and Wayne go through. X-Knight stays down in P6. So we see, well, Darky having to use those medium compound tire advantage and try to defend against Wayne, which is on the hard compound tires now. But all that holding up from X-Knight has put Darky 3.8 seconds behind. Oh, Darky! No, X-Knight's run wide, and that's going to put him even more pressure there. Beaton goes through Heejin now, and now X-Knight is causing even more trouble to the drivers on those fresher tires. Look at that. And now driver, oh my goodness me, beats him, almost pushing Corrado off, and now Forecast trying to go around the first corner. I don't think he's going to fit there. And X-Knight somehow still staying on in the P6, but a pack's gonna come back at him. The whole train of cars forming right behind X-Knight right now. Heejin's now leading the drivers on the preferential strategy. Heejin's now 4 tenths behind X-Knight. Heejin started from back, of course. It was made of good strategical maneuvers to get up into P7 right now. It should be P6 at the end of this straight, depending. Oh my goodness me, and that DRS is going to benefit him, and yes, Heejin is true. X-Knight still defending for his might here, and Kenny, still stays P7, and Heejin will be very relieved that the rest didn't get past him, because that's going to give some breathing room, and the rest of them have to try to make a way past. In the turn 11, look at it down the outside now, and X-Knight still defending, and that's given Heejin quite a lot of breathing room, 1.2 seconds as a matter of fact, versus Corrado now, and Heejin safely should be in P6 unless anything happens, and X-Knight goes wide again. Knew his teammate is over the back of him, almost hitting him, having DRS, but holding up his teammate. Oh, that's not a very good place to let his teammate through, and another strategical disaster there for Alfa Romeo, as you said, has trying to go to zero, almost grounded inside of new for P8, and now even more trouble there. It's nice and trying to go down inside Von Haley as well. Oh, come on, it's nice if those 11 lap old hard tires. Well, just not having a time of his life there. He's just struggling so much on this worn out hard tires. And oh my god, Von Haley! Oh, you can't try to make a move there. Still, oh, this is like Formula 2 when you have drivers an alternate strategy, try to make pass, give away pass those on the prime strategy on the later parts of the race. Von Haley safely through, but now it's caused lots of trouble there, and now we have a battle for the lead. Panda Dan versus Skipper. Well, we haven't talked about it. Oh, we have Kurozuo retiring, and I think, well, that is it. That's true. The dangerous test 9 and 10, and we have a safety car on lap 15 or 29. This is our third safety car of the race already. The race is once again neutralized. And Darky is pitting. Well, I don't think he doesn't think those are going to the end. He goes to the hard compound tires. Why did he go on the mediums though? That's the question. Well, it's a bit of a strategical error, but was he predicting another safety car? Well, if he did, it's genius. But there was a high-risk maneuver there to go on a medium compound tires and predict a safety car, and well, and go on that, that's really high risk. Can he use those 6-lap tire advantage to his advantage now? That's a bigger question. He's gonna warm up those tires though. You know, Darky's down P8. Pretty sure Von Haley would let his teammate through. Spinella, Wong the Conqueror, yeah. So probably watching from that corner himself. Kurozuo having a bit of a Spinella moment, and obviously, you know, 10-9-10 is a dangerous spot to do a Spinella, and taking out the race, 4th retirement of the race already. What's even more interesting is that B-Sim, currently running 11th, is on soft compound tires. So is he predicting a 4th safety car or even a red flag to occur in the latter stages of the race? I don't think that soft tires is going to last 14 laps to lap 29, honestly. Well, unless with the trend that's going on, B-Sim is thinking that he can use the soft tires as advantage to carve his way through the field and try, well, with that pace advantage, to try to carve his way through the field, use a 4th safety car to go to another set of softs. It could be a genius strategy, but it could be a very erroneous one, of course. And we have another car who's coming to the pits, and it's Von Haley. Well, it could be a double stack. It could be a double stack, which wouldn't work out. So Von Haley's going to pit now. Well, I'm thinking that, hey, maybe I can now bring the mediums here now. Just 13 laps remaining. Okay, well, can he? 13 laps looks pretty decent. He should be at the back of the field. From last now, he is last, yes. Where he lost first, I don't think it's gonna be bothering anybody here, because now the question is, well, it's gonna be a case of the tire advantage. Do you favor the tire advantage, or do you favor your own track position? So obviously we have the front 6 drivers favoring track positions, but obviously with just 7-lap old hard tires, I don't think there's any use case for them to pit and go for a fresh set of tires at this point in time. But those to look out for are those from 7th to 10th. Darky Curado, X-Knights, and B-Sim. Now these drivers in Buckle, especially Darky Curado and X-Knights, they are now on tires which are fresher and which can go to the end of the race. Keep an eye on them, because they are drivers which could disrupt those on the prime strategy. And especially now, the safety car coming in and out of this lap, Panda Dan will once again, for the 3rd time, become the de facto safety car. Let's see whether he can try to bring the cars, try to bring these drivers, well, and catch them napping. So the question now is, when does he pull the trigger? So now he does pull the trigger and, well, he brings the whole field with him. Now, Von Haley's left session, unfortunately, so he can't make use of the advantage to his favor. But it's still Penadent from Techromancer from Wayne. The front three, well, the front four, line of stern right now. It's separated by less than a second. Now, I think the rest have actually learned Penadent's restarts and have not been caught napping this time. So Penadent has work to do to prevent himself forming a DRS train right behind him. And Skipper is shit closer this time. He's been farming a battery and he's saying to Penadent, I'm the championship leader. I want to get past you. And it's a matter of time before I do. And Penadent, I'm pretty sure, is mature enough to actually learn the attacks of Skipper and where are any potential passes would that be. Maple Leaf, once again, well, he's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Got to be careful of those track limit infractions there. You know, the 4 still line of stern. Heejin's quite far behind, 1.4 seconds behind as a matter of fact. As now begin lap 19 out of 29. The toes being given by Penadent. And a huge toe, even a huge toe given them to Techromancer and Wayne. So let's see how they negotiate these set of corners. And whether Penadent can now breach that 1 second window for the DRS. Gap's becoming gradually bigger and bigger now. So get Penadent using a first lap to warm up his tires and get that advantage beyond Skipper and Techromancer now. So Penadent having that massive advantage now. You know how he's so strong in the second and third sectors of the lap. So Penadent leading by a huge margin now, from 7/10 between each driver, unless they're just preparing the batteries for the attack once the DRS becomes enabled. So Skipper, look at that, yes, coming back at him. So clearly, drivers playing with their battery levels to determine when is it best to deploy that battery to form an attack. And I think Techromancer is falling out of the DRS range. He has to go back. He has to go back within the 1 second window, Techromancer. Skipper is really on the offense right now. And I think it's time for, well, Skipper to have the DRS. DRS is now enabled. And now Penadent has to be careful because Skipper has really learned what Penadent's capable of. Techromancer also has to be careful. I don't think he's able to catch up that 6/10 of a second as quickly because the Wayne is now over the back of him. So the front four have become 2 separate head-to-head battles for first place and third place now. So it's going to be pretty interesting here. Let's look at Skipper versus Penadent. Now 4/10 of a second now between Penadent and Skipper. DRS is now going to be enabled. Wing is going to be open. Let's see if Skipper can actually get past Penadent now. 2/10, 1/10. Oh, they almost arrive at the same time there. No moves being made, but now a second dose of DRS there. Penadent desperate, deploying all that battery to try and get past. DRS enabled once again. No fruit for any of the front two there, front four as a matter of fact. But the gap's now very close. Sector 3 has taken Neum out. And once again, turn 10 second displacement victim. Thankfully, Neum was able to continue. But now the real fight begins. The long main straight. Penadent really desperate to shake off that advantage there as DRS wide open. Skipper saying, hey, I'm here. No moves being made so far. But Daki is making a move on Heejin. Daki's pass, Heejin, where did it come from? Heejin looks comfortable, but now, well, Daki's on P5, and now Wayne has to worry because Daki is coming, and it's the first driver on the alternate strategy. Keep an eye out for the gap between Daki and Wayne now. I'm pretty sure, well, Skipper and Wayne would really want to make their attacks pretty soon, with 8 laps remaining, and the gap between Daki and the front runners quickly closing down. This is something to be looking out for. Skipper is now having his next attempt on the back straight with turns 8 and 9 on Penadent. He knows time is running out. Penadent is holding the defense, and he stays so far. Wayne, what about Wayne? Still can't make the move. Now, DRS again for Skipper. He's a bit closer this time. Is he daring enough to make a move? Not quite daring enough. As if Wayne as well. Well, but they will be draining their batteries the longer to do so. So Skipper and Wayne really being patient there on their attacks right now. So here we go. You're gonna have another move, and I think Skipper is even closer this time. This should be it. This should be it for Skipper. Oh no, Panadan still having a lot of juice in his battery there. But Skipper is just holding his station pretty nicely there. As Corrado has a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. Oh, we can't keep our eyes off this Panadan Skipper battle, ladies and gentlemen. It's not gone beyond 5-10 so far. Wayne, meanwhile, has been losing a bit of touch from Takomansa, but the gap between Panadan and Skipper still 0.3 of a second. And I think, well, he has to do it this time. DRS open, and the batteries run low for Panadan. Change of lead. Skipper's got Panadan, and it's for the lead of the race down the back straight. Skipper 70 plus Panadan. Wayne is oh, what happened? Takomansa is rolling in a second. The gap's up it's so up now, and I think Wayne's the next, well, to pass him now. And I can see Corrado and Daki also trading places there. We have 3 different battles in front now. Skipper versus Panadan, Takomansa versus Wade, and Corrado versus Daki. 3 different headed battles now. The first one now, through the main straight. Can Panadan make his move on Skipper again? Let's have a look. The McLaren driver, oh, he has to look. Can't do it. Second battle, Wayne down the inside on Takomansa. Wayne up into the podium places. What about Daki? Not quite yet. So one change there is Skipper from Panadan from Wayne. Then Takomansa, Corrado, then Daki. Back to lead again. Panadan, but Skipper has not shaken Panadan off so far. We're on lap 23 or 29, all to play for here. Focusing back onto the battle between Skipper and Panadan. I think Panadan still has the juice to get Skipper again with the pound of DRS. Now, DRS wide open, the gap at 4/10. I think there should be enough for Panadan to launch run down the inside if he wants to. Not quite yet. It still go past, but now Takomansa and Wayne. Second battle, holding the defense there. Still Wayne in turn. What about the next one? Turn 11? Are we going down the inside? Defensive shape thrown by Skipper. Can Wayne show the defensive shape? Yes, he can. Corrado? Yes, he can. So it's still even Stevens as we go on to the beginning of lap 24. But still, the gaps are very close up in front. Panadan, can he make a move on Skipper? I think this time he can. He's gonna do what he did. He's gonna do what Skipper did to him. Takomansa in the session. Takomansa's disconnected. And now Corrado's gonna get him. It's all because of a technical fault with the internet. EA's played him. Oh, big time there. Oh no, Takomansa's down to 6 now. And the head-to-head battle we are seeing, unfortunately, is not gonna materialize there. Unfortunate, so unfortunate there. And oh, Duck gets in! Duck gets in Corrado! Duck gets in Corrado! And that's why we saw the yellow flag there. And Corrado, once again, to make matters worse, he has a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. We're not going to get another double head now. It's all gone. Ducky hits Corrado, and it's for the second time in the race. Corrado getting damaged, and Ducky will definitely be on the spotlight of what the stewards are going to see there. This is an ultimate disaster for Ducky and Corrado. It's going to be a heated discussion inside the driver's room right after. But even hotter in front, it's a battle between Skipper and Panadan for the lead of this race. I didn't see what happened there, but what I think is that Ducky with a fresher tires, totally the hard tires are going off. Ducky probably rear-ended. It probably rear-ended Corrado as we went there. Corrado is continuing on with a broken front wing. Yeah, it's continuing on the broken front wing. He's spinning. He's spinning. Points gone. Points are promising. It could be a double points for Ferrari. One mistake from a rival team, and that's it. Thankfully for the front two, well, it should be a message to the front two between Skipper and Penadent. The message now is Sam, keep it clean. No matter what, you're the front two. The gap between yourselves and Wayne is 4.5 seconds. Keep it clean. Bring both cars home. If you're on a race for the lead, race as possible. So, Penadent just, well, I trust these two to race clean. Well, and give us some action at the same time. They're going side by side now. Round the outside goes Wenderden, I think. No, he knows better. He knows better not to launch a move down, stick a nose out inside of 11. But what about to the main straight? He knows the main straight is still waiting for him. There's still many chances left. There's still 4 more rounds of this Albert Park circuit for him to make a move. He just has to stay patient. He knows it's close at this time. He knows he can trade the position now. And he can go around the outside. He can go around the outside here to help the DRS. But Skipper, he knows where he has to be. And he holds it for the time being. Penadent holds his line. And he knows that he can just keep it clean. He can stick it down inside now. He lets Skipper go through. It's still Skipper from Penadent as of now. So, Penadent still within 0.3 of a second of Skipper. No love lost between these two, obviously. 0.2. The gap between both of them now, and now DRS open from Penadent. Penadent's just looking for a way past Skipper. Will be round the outside. It will be round the outside. Skipper decides to let him through, and it's a change of lead back to Penadent as of now. You know, Skipper knows he can afford to lose a bit of ground to Penadent owing to his 22-point lead, and the gap is now down to as it stands. With Penadent holding the fastest lap, it is going to be down to a gap of 15 points, still a sizable lead. And all Skipper is sliding around there. I think it's going to cost him time. It's slid there. And I think that could be the race ending. It's beyond 1 second now. That's it. One message from Skipper. You know, I think he'll be selling for P2 now, which isn't all that bad. Just give Penadent a win. Well, Skipper obviously thinking of the championship and not fighting that one too hard. So, even though with that mistake, the gap between Penadent and Skipper is still the closest battle on track we're having. Gaps all across the board are pretty large as of now. We have another battle forming up, but that's between Maple Leaf and Tacromancer. Maple Leaf just managed to get into DRS range of Tacromancer at this point in time. And it's outside of DRS range now. So, 3 more laps to go. I'm not sure if we're going to get any more late race battles. But so far, it appears it's going to be Penadent from Skipper. Then Wayne just needs to hold up the 2.2 seconds gap, 2 second gap to Daki. Just stay there. So, Skipper still holding on to second place. Still beyond a 1 second gap. Wayne now actually losing ground to the front too. I think it's all poised for a third place finish. Meanwhile, let's have a look at the penalties per driver there. So, looking at the penalties, for Seal Strategy, holding a 12-second penalty there. He's running in 10, but that's how he's going to go with Neum. Even Corrado getting him right now. No, Corrado's going to get an equal penalty, 12 seconds as well. So that's going to be disastrous for him. The question now is Maple Leaf. Maple Leaf with 3 second penalty and was 1 wide. It's not going to help him in any course. But he needs to defend himself against X9 in P7. And without running wide, I think he's going to put himself down into P7 now. Meanwhile, well, Facile Strategy has gone off the track. And it's down. Yes, Facile Strategy's race is over. So, what about this? New versus Corrado for P10. Now, we haven't been talking about the midfielders so far in this race, but interesting to see a battle. If it's in midfield, it is closing stages now. This hasn't materialized This has been a sudden battle which appeared out of nowhere. New versus Corrado. Corrado on fresher soft tires. Corrado with a broken front wing earlier. And he's trying to make a comeback drive for Ferrari. And Kenny trying to make a move. Around the outside. Oh, nicely done from the Ferrari driver up to the 10th place. But oh, News won. News at Espinola. And that's going to cost him. He's going to come back out. And oh, no. Not good for New. I think that's points being thrown away there for Alfa Romeo. Don't really need to be doing that. But if it's gonna be for pride, all he needs to do is to stay within 6 seconds of Facil's strategy. Vanity. But meanwhile, back out in front, Panda Dan. At the start of the race, it all looked like a prediction come true there. Panda Dan with a strong qualifying session. We know his times were there. We know he sent a message there doing qualifying Q1 and Q3 especially with that massive gaps to his competition there. We thought the race pace wise it wasn't good. We thought Skipper had the advantage, but now the final winner emerges with all the training places at Panda Dan, leading all safety car restarts, leading a final lap of the race, and finally winning the race in Australia. Skipper's arch rival there finishes in second. And to complete the podium is Wayne once again for a third consecutive top 4 finish. Mr. Consistency Wayne once again. Well, if only he's a full-time driver, he's definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with inside the Drivers' Championship. But I'm pretty sure he wouldn't mind a third place. And it's going to be Ducky in fourth, Techomancer in fifth, Maple Leaf in sixth, X Knights closely behind in seventh, Beast in eighth, Heejin, great recovery to ninth place. Corrado should finish in 10th as it stands, ahead of Facile Strategy, and then New should easily take P11 on post penalties. Von Haley, I think got lap is finishing. It's our last of finishes in 13th place. So it's nice. Our driver of the day this evening. So that's the race results there. Panda then taking a full suite of points. Well, fastest lap, 26 points, and well, fish first as well. So pole, fastest lap, and won the race. Only difference that you could have made a grand slam had he not been training places with Skipper all the while through the races. So a huge and a convincing win from Panda Dan. Hard for one, obviously, with his metallic Skipper. But pretty easy win from Panda Dan to take his win again since the exhibition race. Skipper finished in second with a 1.9 second gap to Panda Dan. Wayne just 9 seconds off the lead in third place. Darky in fourth. Techomancer in fifth. Maple Leaf in sixth. X Knights in seventh. Beesim eighth. Heejin, Corrado, New. After which, Facile Strategy, 12 seconds gap there. Von Hilly finished one lap down, but still being classified. So what's interesting is Darky with 3-stop strategy finishing in fourth. So Darky obviously having lots of pace there inside the Mercedes. Just unfortunate to be getting involved in a few on-track clashes with his rivals. I'm not sure what his rivals are going to say about that. But all that matters is that he's got 12 points. He got 12 massive points there for his team. And that's going to be something. But we talk about that. Meanwhile, I think the top three have been really excited, they're straight onto the driver's radio. So I'm pretty sure that they're all just about ready for the podium interviews right now. So, well, just gonna prepare now for the podium interview. Are we ready for the podium interviews? So, some drivers discussing 10-9, 10-10 overtaking is cooked. Yeah, it is cooked. Oh, so many drivers overtaking shootout sections. So prepare for the podium interviews. Panadan, Skipper, Wayne. I'm pretty sure they have lots to talk about than race earlier, especially with those end race head-to-head battles that between Tacromancer, Wayne, Panadan. Wow, that was amazing there. So once again, we're now commencing our podium interview there. So congratulations on finishing on the podium once again. Panadan, Skipper, and Wayne, usual three suspects. So first up, third place we have Wayne. So Wayne, once again, third consecutive top four finish, and I think you're creating a reputation for yourself for mixed consistency this season. So, bring us through your thoughts. What do you think about that top four finishes this season and your results so far?
I think it's been great. Um, Especially coming in as a reserve driver. I didn't really had the chance to come back onto the game and do any practice. So considering the time that I took off for a hiatus, it's quite impressive that I even managed to have such results. Especially due to the new grid and the level of competition that has increased over the months.
Of course, it is a very interesting grid this season. It is extremely tight. We have more competitive drivers. We have even closer packages seen through the qualifying results. So yeah, speaking of qualifying, you started way down in 10th, I mean ninth after Ramen did not participate. So it is understandable that you got disqualified in the third session of qualifying. So bring us through that. What happened that caused a disqualification?
I think it was just a genuine mistake from my end. I think my wheel had some issues, so it didn't really calibrate properly. So uh, I ended up in the wall and in the wrong direction. And due to this game, it disqualifies you when you're heading in the opposite direction. I tried to keep way to any passing drivers, and fortunately, I didn't affect anyone around me.
On. So once again, a pretty unfortunate incident falling victim to EA, and well, still a very good comeback there from Wayne, from ninth all the way up into third place. So take us through a comeback drive. What do you do to ensure that you're being up to the podium again?
I think the really key strategy is especially on the first lap, in the first turn, just take it chill, do not attack too much and not cause any incidents, which fortunately I was able to be out of that unscathed. Towards the center of the race, I was really just trying to keep my pace consistent, trying to keep up with the people in front of me, especially drivers like Ducky. Uh, he was one of my main rivals for the race, and also I think for this race, my strategy choices were quite quite good. I didn't really get affected by anything, and I just kept with the flow. Fortunately, my pace wasn't as bad as I was thinking it would be because Australia isn't one of my best tracks. So quite fortunate that my setup was reasonably grippy and yeah, quite happy with the result at the end.
Of course, very good strategy there from Wayne today, and obviously lots of clinical overtakes and becoming more mature with the driving, of course. And obviously, he'll be a title contender. If only you're a full-time driver, and well, obviously, we hope to see you to join full-time in future seasons, of course. So thank you, Wayne, for your time in the podium interview, and here's some more top four finishes for future races.
Thank you.
Right. So next up, the top two. We can't omit them, of course, because they're the top two in driver standings as well. So first up, championship leader Skipper. So once again, welcome Skipper there. So once again, retaining your championship lead, and obviously, although have you having your championship lead cut to just what do you say, 15 points after the end of this race. So well, it is your damage limitation. So talk us through that. Your battle with Panadan. I understand Panadan's really a strong driver. What do you think of today's race? Racing head to head with him.
Yeah, I think I didn't quite have the pace. We saw in Q1, not Q1, sorry, in qualifying. I think Panda was like 7, 6, 7 tenths ahead. That was quite crazy, and I think I made some mistakes on my quali lap. But still, uh, even if I didn't make those mistakes, I think I would still be behind by a decent margin. And in the race, I think actually I had decent pace on my first stint towards the end. I think I managed to keep within Panda because I think he's also dying. So very lucky for him, he got the safety car there, and we both pitted. After that, I was able to manage the pace with him, but I think towards the end, because of my setup, I didn't put so much wing, so old hearts, it was quite a pain to drive. So yeah, I didn't really have the pace to match Panda towards the end.
Well, I mean, towards the end, we did see it. Towards the end, across the final corner, you kind of slid a little bit, and that ultimately brought you outside of the DRS range of Panaden. I mean, you'll be fighting Panaden all the way. The gap between himself and you were less than 5 tenths of a second throughout the course of the race. So, do you feel that had you not made a mistake, you would still have a chance of trying to get Panaden towards the end of the race, probably the last lap?
Yeah, definitely. It's the last 3 to 4 laps. I just keep having brake locking issues, especially in the second last corner. So I think I had one pretty big one. Was lucky to save it. So yeah, I think without that mistake, maybe I would have a chance, but it will still have been quite tough because I mean I was planning to keep behind, keep in the DRS until the last lap, and just use all my battery on the last lap. But yeah, obviously if I can't even maintain the gaps through the corners, then I can't do that.
Well, well, a little bit of a shame, but I believe you'll be happy with P2. Damage limitation there. I mean, you're still holding a 15-point lead ahead of Panaden. And I think this is going to be a very long championship to go. So, once again, thank you, Skipper, and have a good weekend ahead.
Thanks. You too.
So, finally, Panaden, once again, our latest race winner there. So, hi, Panaden. How does it feel to be winning the Australian Grand Prix this evening?
Hi guys. Honestly, I was quite surprised of my performance today as um okay, I didn't actually practice much for this race except for just now I think Skipper saw I did a 50% race. Yeah. So I honestly didn't expect much coming to this. I was expecting like maybe at best like P2, P3 maybe, but okay, my performance today was quite surprising and I'm quite satisfied.
Well, it's a good race, and obviously you cut your gap to Skipper to just 15 points, and obviously you did lots of wheel-to-wheel racing with Skipper yourself. So talk us through that. Talk us through head-to-head racing and the wheel-to-wheel action between yourself and Skipper.
Oh, the wheel-to-wheel race was really great with him. I think everything was very fair. And at some point, I also tried to play some DRS game with him, where my intention was to stay behind him until like maybe the last few laps, and then I will use all my battery to run away from there.
Yeah, and well, despite that, I think well, towards the end of the race, or even through the middle part of the races, we did see a few incidents between drivers when they're racing each other, and especially the Ferrari of one of the Ferraris, not Wayne, I mean probably his teammate, getting hit into the wall by Ducky at one point. We know they were going through a bit of a head-to-head racing action as well, but did that actually cause you both to think that, oh, there are some, this is a very accident-prone track, and we should race a bit safer and more cleanly after the incident? So, did those incidents affect your mindset while racing?
Not really, because I was just focused on my own race. Well, although these incidents do cause safety cars, I was just set on my own strategy where I was actually quite lucky one of them to get a safety car like about lap 12, which is the perfect window for hearts to go to the end.
Yeah, so with a massive three safety cars this race, so obviously back to Skipper. So with those safety cars, do you actually think of doing anything different to Panaden? I mean, you were trading Panaden for all three of the safety cars. So Skipper, do you think of trying anything different strategically to Panaden to maybe try to undercut him or maybe outsmart him a little bit?
Um, I did consider pitting on one of the safety cars. I think we won hearts already. But I saw that that Panda already caught the safety car. So if I pitted, I would be all the way to the back. So um, then because of that, I chose not to pit. Yeah, I thought it was better to just stay with him.
All right. So, of course, well, championship mindsets there from these two. So, obviously, for both of you, first up from Skipper, will you be trying to take anything different for the races to come, or would you be continuing the same racing mindset when racing Panaden for the remaining races?
Um, I think it's not really a mindset thing. It's just pace. Yeah, I think I didn't do too many too many things wrong today from a strategic point of view. It's just not locking up and yeah, being more consistent.
All right. How about you, Panda? Then, would you have any changes to how you'll be racing skipper in future after today's race?
Uh, Honestly, nothing much. It's more of just practicing a bit more, maybe, so I'm a bit more prepared.
Well, all right. So I think no changes from these two drivers, and I think we should be able to see more virtual race action between Panda and Skipper, and possibly, maybe even drivers like Wayne or even Ducky if they can actually be fast in the remaining few races and future few that can suit their racing style. So it's going to be a more interesting 7 races to come. And obviously, to our viewers, will be really excited to see you guys race. So, once again, to the top 3, thank you for the podium interview and enjoy your weekend. And enjoy the Qatar Grand Prix if you're watching later. Okay. Well, once again, so that concludes to the end of the 3rd round of the Australian Grand Prix. So, once again, let's look at the standings. Once again, provisional standings. We're going to have Skipper at a total of 66 points. Panda Dan at a total of 51 points, explaining the 51 points deficit we have. Wayne, of course, finishing on the top 4 for every single race so far. He has participated in, albeit being on the reserve driver, and that should bring him to 45 points, and that should be an easy P3 in the overall driver standings. It's just a shame that he is only a reserve driver and henceforth will not be considered under the overall driver standings. But here's hoping we have a rule change. But I mean, we do see Wayne already participating for 3 races. As opposed to the other drivers, well, unfortunately, some other drivers have not been attending the races due to other commitments. But Wayne consistently appearing for all 3 races really as a reserve driver, and that's something extremely respectable and already getting lots of crucial points for his team. And I believe constructs all these teams will be hoping for Wayne to actually come into substitute drivers to gain some bonus points when we're not in. Yeah, well, hopefully for season 4, we're gonna have hopefully for race 4 as a matter of fact, we're gonna have a full suite of full-time drivers who are participating in. Well, let's not forget, although we have 17 drivers today to be able to run the whole qualifying session, we only have 13 of them being a full-time driver, and unfortunately, it did support really well in terms of our full-time attendance. So, really hope to see more of our full-time drivers come in for the future races and just move into the year 2025, of course. Meanwhile, next race will be in 2 weeks' time. Now we'll be in December. It's going to be on the December of 14th, 2024. Round 4, we have yet to confirm the venue. So, well, of course, it'll be decided in a few days' time. So do check out the Discord channel to find out more details on the location of the next Grand Prix. So meanwhile, I believe most of you are waiting for the Qatar Grand Prix qualifying to commence. Well, enjoy the weekend. It's a long Saturday. It's going late now. It's 11:30 p.m. Singapore time. Goodbye and enjoy the weekend. And enjoy Saturday. Bye-bye.